We talked about in the previous section about owning the performance, owning your presentation. So now we're going to go into section number 8, which is how to get somebody to buy from you. See, a sales rock star, you must be prepared to view sales as a performance. This is a really big thing that a sales rock star does, is the moment that a rock star actually walks out on stage, all eyes are on them. If they forget the words to a song or they seem off, guess what? The audience will know right away. See, this is the same approach that a sales rock star must have when they get onto a sales phone call. You must view every single interaction as an individual performance with that prospect. You must see yourself with that mindset we talked about a little bit earlier as an actor that's on Broadway, that's walking on the stage to deliver the best performance of Hamlet for the 10,000th time. You should not be able to go ahead and know that that was the 10,000th time that that actor just performed Hamlet. That's the same way as a sales rock star, that you should view every single performance as a unique experience. The big thing is this: your audience is judging you. The other person on the phone is your audience, and they will be judging you from the very second that you pick up that phone call with them. Just like an audience member can actually walk out or boo you off stage, that person on the other end can do the exact same thing. They can just hang up the phone and it's all over before the show even started. See, we talked about this before, about 3 to 5 seconds to convince the prospect that you are a sales rock star. In order to do that, you must be prepared. Let's talk about the hardest part of phone sales. The hardest part of phone sales is just getting someone on the phone with you. Never, ever take that for granted. It should never matter to you as a sales rock star how that person made it on the phone call with you. The hardest part is actually now over. The rest is now going to be up to you. As a sales rock star, you must have the mindset that there's absolutely no coincidences in life. See, you must believe that there's absolutely no coincidences in life. It's up to you as a sales rock star to step up right now and convince them why they should stay on the phone and listen to what you actually have to say. See, what's happened is the universe always gives back to the person who actually refuses to quit and acts when they're called upon. See, the second hardest part of phone sales is this. The second hardest part is actually getting the other person to engage and find you interesting. See, the prospect is coming on this phone call as a complete stranger. However, the sales rock star will greet them as if they've known them for a lifetime. That's why every single interaction should start with, "How have you been?" If you treat every call as the most important call of that day, it will change everything. Treat every phone call, no matter what the other person says to you or their attitude, as the most important call that you're going to have that entire day. See, even if you've talked to 30 people that day, this is the very first time that that person has actually ever talked to you. Think about that. The prospect at the end of the day does not care if you've talked to 100 people that day or if you're tired. The sales rock star understands that at the beginning of the call, they are a stranger to that prospect's world and they're in an unfamiliar setting. See, the prospect is doing something, is they're making their decision in the first minute of that phone call if they're actually willing to do business with you. Think about that for a second. In the first minute of a phone call, they're making the decision if they're going to do business with you. See, most sales are actually won or lost in the very first minute of that phone call. That's why we stressed a little bit earlier that the opening of the phone call is the most important part of the entire sales process. See, you need to approach every call as a unique experience. Every call should be a unique experience because the prospect deserves the very best from you. If you take that phone call just as some type of random encounter, it's going to come across as transactional and not empathetic to that prospect. You must be excited and eager to talk to the other person, have a willingness to actually help everybody without any preconceived notions of their needs. See, let's look into the mind of greatness. See, there's a story about Michael Jordan where he would approach every single game as the most important game of his entire career, no matter how insignificant it was in the standings. This is what Michael Jordan said. He said that he did this because some kid was in the stands that would be attending that game that would watch him play for the very first time. that kid deserved the very best performance from him no matter how insignificant that game actually was. See, what Michael Jordan did is he understood that being successful was as much about creating the experience as it was actually winning the game. See, as a sales rock star, your job is to create an unforgettable experience. So you got to present yourself in a way that's different than everybody else around you and deliver more than that customer actually expects. See, a sales rock star makes the other person that they're talking to feel like the most important person in the entire world. I've said this before. Success is all about you. Significance, though, is about other people. You have to get the prospect on your side from the very beginning. See, the best way to get someone to buy from you is to get them on your side from the very beginning of that phone call. See, the close starts at the very beginning of the phone call. You are closing them on you. See, the sales rock star works on getting closing commitments all along the way instead of one big commitment. So one thing you have to ask yourself is this: what's in it for the buyer? See, the biggest problem that salespeople have is a lack of either effective or appropriate questions. Make sure that the fact find is actually tailored to finding out what's important to the buyer and not to you as a salesperson. See, what lounge acts do is they're always looking at what's best for them and not for their prospect. Do not be a lounge act. See, here are some questions that the prospect is actually asking themselves when they're on the phone with you. They're asking, why change and why should I change? Why should I decide to do something actually right now? Why can't I do this on my own? Why should I go with this company? Why should I go with this product or service instead of another? Why should I spend money today? Why should I use this salesperson? How the salesperson overcomes these questions is very, very important. See, the most important question a salesperson should ask themselves is this throughout the phone call: would I make this purchase if I was the buyer based on the information that I know? I'm going to repeat that again. Would I make this purchase if I were the buyer based on the information that I know? See, that's absolute certainty that you must have. Certainty is the absence of doubt. If you have any doubt, then you don't have absolute certainty that you can answer that question yes. See, if you have any doubt and cannot answer that question with an emphatic yes, then you do not have enough information from the buyer and you need to dig a little bit deeper into your discovery process. You must have predictability to be a sales rock star. That's so important. A sales rock star wants predictability so that they will ask the prospect hard questions to make sure that they're seeing things from that buyer's point of view. See, when the sales rock star can say yes, without a doubt, that they would move forward with a purchase if they were that customer based on the information that they know, it will give much more predictability to the close. So you should always be asking yourself that question. By having that certainty, you will see a big increase in the number of prospects that are actually going to close with you. The first thing that you must do, and we've talked about it before, is you have to grab their attention. In phone sales, you must grab the prospect's attention in the first seconds of your conversation. See, every phone call should open the exact same way to allow that phone call to connect with that prospect and for you to be in control. The opening of the phone call should be personal, it should be simple, and it should be original. See, when every call starts the exact same way and follows the exact same process after your introduction, it allows for you to offer the same experience to everyone, and it lets your personality take over throughout the rest of the conversation. Here's an example of being able to grab someone's attention that I would use. Jill, I am so excited that the universe put us together. I don't believe that there's any coincidence in life, so I'm really excited to see what we can do to help point you in the right direction. Jill, let me ask you a question. See, you can see in this opening that it was personal because we used the first name Jill to go ahead and grab the prospect's attention. It was original because we talked about the phone call not being a coincidence. And then it catches the prospect off guard because a sales rock star has just told the universe that they've been connected together for some particular reason.